I am the only person in history that I know of that told Easy Rider to go fuck yourself. I don't want my bike in your magazine. Mm-hmm. True story. That did not work well out for me. Wasn't my fault.
So it's all together, but that's not the one that's in the truck right now. But I had to, the guy on Craigslist that I bought it from,
Go with Craig.
Was he Middle Eastern? Was he Middle Eastern?
No, he was Russian. They could get anything.
That was a cool look back then. Don't be breaking my balls.
I need a drink now, you guys.
Two guys that I know that if I put a silver dollar out on the racetrack, they could find it at 200 miles an hour and hit it, okay? Biggest difference, Bill Elliott could tell you if it was heads or tails. Jeff Gordon would stop, pick it up, put it in his pocket, and go invest it.
Beach assault, because I'm on a scuba team, and we come up on this beach, and it's a nude beach, and there's chicks everywhere.
Read about an audition for the Detroit Pistons dance team, and I was like, well, wait a minute. Oh my God, you got all the pictures.
You're right down. You're down in the bottom, right?
I thought I had all this deleted.
How'd that happen?
Well, Shag was
he's looking like
there he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's probably
I'm sure he's listening.
The norm.
People turned our show off and felt better about their dysfunction. I'm serious.
How'd you like to make $5 the hard way?
Literally the most professional podcast I've ever done.
Money's on the dresser.
Oh, there we are. I didn't know. Ken, there you are. I didn't know what was going on there. So anyway, tonight we have Jeff Malkovich. So here's the deal about Jeff. He's a Camaro guy, and he found a 69 Camaro that was driven by Ken Stoddard. It was a race car. And being a Camaro guy that he is, he had to get it. So that's where we're at. And look at the car. The car clearly needs some love. I love that clearance for the quarter panels on the rear tire. But that looks like a dirt car to me. That's what it looks like. All right, so Ken, go add it a picture because we're going to see it again in a minute. So next week, I want you guys to know we got Finnegan. But tonight, it's Jeff. So we're going to bring in John. We're going to talk it up a little bit. And then we're going to bring in Jeff. And he's going to talk about bitchin' Camaros. Hit it, Ken. So did you guys know that AMSOIL is the corporate entity? And then they have independent dealers who sell their products. So here's the thing. We called up Nick at syntheticadvantage.com. And we said, Nick, we're doing the sticky green love machine. And we don't want it to be so sticky. And he said, guys, I got you. And he sent us engine oil, right? So we've got all the fluids we need to get the sticky green love machine not so sticky. But something I really want to tell you guys about, because this is truly important. AMSOIL makes antifreeze. And the thing about AMSOIL and their antifreeze, it's kid and pet friendly. I'm not saying mix it with vodka and feed it to your 2-year-old. I'm saying it ain't gonna kill them or your pets if they get a couple licks of it. AMSOIL, as far as I know, they're the only ones doing that. Check them out, syntheticadvantage.com. Tell Nick Lou sent you. Yeah. Dude.
Yo. Speaking of which,
I don't know what happened there. The screen went to like the generic screen, and I'm like, what the hell?
I'll tell you, I got computer problems. You got computer problems. Hey, whatever. You know.
Hey, we got one guy in the chat room, Kevin. Kevin, how the hell are you? He's the only one there.
Yeah. He's the only one putting comments up.
No one's
hey,
putting them up.
Charlotte Auto Fair. You going? You still doing?
Dude, I'm doing it. It's tomorrow. It starts. I got to be there tomorrow.
What time?
8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So I will. I'm gonna see if I can't get. I'm gonna probably try and get some footage on my phone. Some little snippets, like 30-second snips.
Yeah.
Do something, or maybe I can get some footage from the guys who are shooting it. For the Speedway. They might let. I'll talk to them when I get there.
Well, what I was saying is make sure you follow with Nick, Amsoil Nick. He's going to be there with his booth set up.
Send me his cell number because I don't have his number.
He's got yours. I copied you on the text with him. He's got it. I will send it again.
I'll look at the text. I'll look at the text. Yeah, because I'll have a golf cart.
Okay.
I'll have a golf cart with a camera crew. Nick messes around with me. I'm gonna have his face on the jumbo.
Oh yeah, you're going to interview people that are there on display and things. So, yeah, you got to follow up.
Mess with me, it's game on.
He's going to get you
He
greased
has
up.
no idea. He'll be on the jumbotron.
You could be drinking his antifreeze with the vodka.
I should bring him some vodka for the antifreeze. That's what I should do.
Next week, Carlisle. We still good?
Next week is Carlisle. So after the show, I will get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and drive to Carlisle.
All right.
So I'll get a little bit of
probably 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right. It's a 7-hour run for me. So I'll just haul ass.
Make sure that you text Bruce when you get there. Bruce and his wife are coming up.
Yeah, he called me today, and I was busy putting learning how to put together a GM steering column. So I forgot to call him back.
All right.
So
well,
Camaro Central. I see we have a logo for them.
Be at Carlisle. So we're going to go up, see the guys from Camaro Central. We're going to see the guys from Armo. So if you see their booth, they'll probably know where we are.
If not, we'll still be in the booth.
Yeah. They will. They're supposed to give us a golf cart, and then Ben said they may have a camera following us around. I don't know what they want us to do. I actually have to look for parts, so I'm going to be busy. I'm not going up there to mess around.
This is a working show. What do you think you could? You find somebody to make your minion, and you have them go get the parts.
Well, Chris is coming with me, and Ken may come out too. Producer Ken, he may be there. So,
we have to we got to do like a 15-second blip for them anyway.
Yeah, you got to do that the following day, Friday, when you're here.
Right. Okay.
I got to do that.
Carlisle.
Shiftworks sent us the shifter for Sticky Green.
Cool.
Can you put Lou back up instead of Camaro Central the whole time?
He forgot. He forgot it was up.
So anyhow, where was I? Shiftworks, we got to do a spot for them. Classic Industries, we got to do something. I don't know what, but the sponsors, we got to figure it out. Oh, there it goes. That's payback. My Honey Boy magazine cover now.
Jeff's going, what the hell did I just get into?
If he's still there. There's Nick. Nick, make sure you text Lou because he doesn't have your number.
I probably do if you put me on the text, but just text me anyway.
Yeah. What else I got to say? Update on Sticky Green. Is that what we got? Ken, you want to run through some pictures? I sent Ken some pictures.
Ken likes that horn. So yeah, we'll get some and we'll do a really good update of Sticky Green when I'm up there.
Yeah, I got the interior. I was supposed to get the visors back today. That's the air conditioned vent I was telling you last time we were on that I was going to make.
Love the sheetrock screw.
Yeah, don't laugh. I had a metal guy show me to use. He said, "You use this because you don't strip it out when you're going in and out 1,000 times. Otherwise, you're going to blast it out." You know what?
I never thought of that. Yeah, he's right.
And you can hand turn it.
Yeah.
You don't have to crank it because it's just smaller than what you're going to use.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it seems ghetto, but it works.
Well, for mock-up, it's perfect.
It is. But here's what happened with this thing here. I told you I was going to cut, dude. That actual bezel I bought at Carlisle last fall, as I figured, you know what? Let me see if I can make that work, because the original bezels, because so few Impalas came with air conditioning.
Yeah.
The bezels 3D printed are $1,200, and there ain't no way I'm spending $1,200 on bezels. So Classic Industries, Gabe at Classic Industries sees my post, gets a hold of me. He says, Classic Industries is going to look into reproducing the vents. I said, listen, they made like 900,000 Impalas.
Yeah.
And I'll bet you probably 10,000 of them, somebody spent the extra $35 to get air conditioning.
Mine's a factory AC car.
Yeah, it's rare because those vents alone, they're expensive. The center one's like $500.
Yeah.
For the ductwork and all. So I fabbed that up. I got it to look pretty good. I got to get the balls. But I'm going to see Camaro Central because it's the same thing. That's out of a Firebird. I'm sure that the Camaro is the same thing.
It should be the same thing. Fire chicken,
69.
Camaro. Yeah. Bitchin' Camaro, I mean. Yeah.
You see, I got the PA system speakers in the front, muff diver. I painted
the
that.
Fender looks good, man.
Yeah, but if you look real close, you know what bugs me? I got a little bit of wave in front of the front wheel.
Oh my God, quit being a fucking bitch. It ain't supposed to be a perfect show car.
I know, but if I knock that down a little bit, I think it's really sharp right there. So if I knock the edge off, I think I'm going to be fine. Plus, I'm going to have to put gray primer and black primer on the tip of this thing. You know what I mean? So it's going to throw your eye off. The whole back, where the emblem, the V8 emblem thing goes right at the
yeah.
That's going to be all gray. It gets gray up until the wheel well.
So Ken said he'll bring you some balls. I'm gonna bring you some balls.
Yeah, Ben, I need the chrome ones. I
gotta have the chrome ones, Ben. No, can't do the black balls. We need chrome balls.
No, the factory I think is chrome. Yours are chrome, are they not?
Yeah, mine are chrome.
Yeah, that's what I thought they'd be.
Mine are
chrome. So I think.
So get this.
That's the latch. Listen. I'm taking the. I got a bunch of shit for having the handle on, but while I'm building the car, the handle's on it. When I'm done, I'll take the handle off. I have a popper, remote, the whole thing. So all that'll be gone.
Yeah.
What I did wrong here is I put that latch on straight.
Oh, it's supposed to be crooked?
It's supposed to be crooked. I was just assuming. Yeah. That's the movie still.
So one of the instructors that I work with, Nelson.
Yeah.
He's got a 3rd gen Camaro. He's got a bitchin' Camaro. And we're doing some, I don't know if I think I told you, we're doing some R&D for QA1. So the seats in the car are shot. Just shot. And I called Ben and I said, Ben, I need the piece to hold the headlight switch in, which I still haven't gotten, by the way. I need that. Yeah, we need to get that. I'll need to get that from Ben when we go up there. Yeah. But and I asked him, I said, man, you got some seat covers for this thing. Dude, he sent us seat covers, foam, everything. So we're going to do a little stand-up for him when we do it.
Cool.
It won't be next week because of Carlisle, but it'll be the week after. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I can't drive the car because the back is so wore out. My back is trying to go the wrong direction, and it can't do that now. No. it can't do that now. Yeah. So yeah. So we got that, and the car's and we got struts on it from QA1 that we're R&D'ing, which I wasn't supposed to talk about. I just thought about that because they haven't made them yet. So I'm probably gonna get in trouble about that shit.
Remind you, we got people that are going to show up at Carlisle. That is actually 420.
Yes, I know.
So I think
it's going to be a mess. There it is.
Yeah, I got the interior back. I don't know if you got that shot, Ken, of the panels and the shifter. I got the
That looks
shifter
so
mounted, Lou. I got the console mounted.
Damn it, man.
I just made that plate in the console with the switches.
Yep.
Believe it or not, I searched for about 10 minutes, couldn't find those switches. I'm hoping I can find those at Carlisle. But the ShiftWorks shifter, I can tell you, the thing is offset, right? You got the indicator on one side, you got the shifter on the other side of the column, so it's offset. He sends it set up the wrong way. So the shifter, Park
is back.
It is. If you put it in the right way. It took me a second to figure out what I was doing wrong. So you actually have to flip the neutral safety switch and the lockout. There's like a bracket, of course, that puts you into gear, that keeps the shifter in place.
Can you change the gate?
I probably could have, but I looked at that and thought, because it makes more sense to do that factory-wise.
Because it looks like a reverse valve body. You're just pushing forward if you want to shift instead of pulling back.
Yeah, but what I was thinking of doing, I guess we're talking two different things. The indicator, when you look down, is to the right of the shifter.
Right.
It's on the passenger side. To me, it should be on the driver's side. You with me?
Yeah.
So I was looking to see if I could flip it and put the indicator on the driver's side of it. But the ShiftWorks shifter, other than that, it took me a second to stare at it, because I'm like, why would he send it this way? I look, because it's the same shifter as the 66 Chevelle. And that indicator is on the right side, the same as the Impala. So I don't know what car he sets this up for that has it on the opposite side.
I'm going to have to look at my car.
Yours is just like this. I looked at other pictures, but that console there is sent in from Classic Industries.
I'll have to look. I don't remember. I'll have to look at my car. I'll have to look at it.
Once I figured out that left is right and right is left, wasn't a big deal. I just couldn't understand why why they ship it out the opposite. I think most applications it's the way to.
Well, by God, we'll ask him when we see him next week.
But that's actually Carter from ShiftWorks. That's not
okay.
Ben.
I thought he was going to be at the show at Carlisle.
I don't think so. He's out of New York, so he may, but I haven't checked with him.
Yeah.
Either way, that's all I got.
That's all you got? So we're gonna. So all right. So let's get up to speed. Next week we got Finnegan.
Mike Finnegan, Roadkill. He left faster. We'll figure out why and get to the bottom why he left faster with Finnegan.
Yep. So now that that's done, let's get Jeff in so we can talk about his bitchin' Camaro.
Yeah,
what do you say?
Talk to him about the whole deal. Bring out Jeff.
Jeff.
There he is. Jeff. He's still here. We still have him. Number 46.
We're still here.
What's up, Jeff? How you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Living the dream. So you ready to talk about bitch?
I can't wait for Carlisle next week too. I hope to see both of you there.
Oh, you're going?
Oh, I wouldn't miss it for the world. That's the best automotive show probably in the world. You have every kind of melting pot that you can imagine there.
I'm telling you, some guys look like they climbed out from under a bridge. Other guys, it's just such a mixed group of people there.
Bridge is light. If I see a school bus, I'm running to that spot. You don't know where these guys get this stuff. When the school bus pulls up, those guys from Pennsylvania. There could be their dead grandmother in there. There could be hubcaps for a 53 Corvette. You don't know what's there.
Yeah. And it's a lot of walking. When Carlisle said, we'll give you a cart, I was like, oh, thank God. How easy is that? That makes a big difference. You buy something, you throw it on the roof, you're out of there.
Well, you got to watch out for the retired guys too, because they come in with them scooters. My buddy got taken out 3 years ago by one of those guys. Liquored up right into the wheel pile.
Well, that's going to be us, so I can't really complain. We're going to be those. We're now the old guys running people over. Yeah. That's who we are now. So can't beat them. Join them.
No. Carlisle's a great place. If you're looking for Camaro parts, it's always there.
Yeah,
I can't tell you the finds that I've had there over the years.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely
Camaro Central will be there, and we're going to hook up with Ben. Armo is going to be there with the display of the new products from SEMA. And speaking of Armo, before we go too far, is to take a kid to a car show.
Yeah.
So somewhere along the line, Jeff, we got to ask you about the future generations, and what do you think? And bringing
let's just
to a
ask him
car
right
show.
now.
What do you think, Jeff?
I've had this conversation with so many people. It's unbelievable. You know, I look at the icons of the world and people that I look up to that I knew in my earlier life and even my later life, the Jim Matsons from Pontiac Historical Society, the Gary Bennett's from Barrett Jackson. You know, those people, you know, I grew up learning from those guys and watching them on TV. And the younger generation, while I respect the tuner cars and the electric cars to a certain point, you know, I think it's part of my thing is with my kids. I mean, we go to the auctions, we go to Amelia Island. I taught my niece how to take apart a 67 Camaro. I mean, she loved it. She came out with rat shit all over her face and stuff like that. But that's what I did as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, how do you not learn that? How do you not love that? Any rich guy or any person can go buy a car, but when you put it together, that's the fun part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
It's
the
a pain
hard
in
part,
the ass, but it is the fun part.
you know, the hard part right now too is the expense of these cars. I mean, when I was a kid, or not a kid, but when I was in high school, you could buy an IROC Z Camaro for $500, $1,500.
Yeah.
Those days are gone. I mean, I went to Mecum auction. I'm watching IROC Zs going for 50, 75 grand. I go, these are the same pieces of junk that, you know, we were wrecking on a cornfield going to Mohican Campground for the weekend. You know, you got one, you used it and you threw it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they weren't hot rods. It's not like they were powerhouses.
Evolution. You look at Joey, like I grew up in Middleburg Heights, Ohio. Joey Rudka had 57 Chevys. Every show you went to, you saw Joey Rudka with 57 Chevys. Then you go to the next evolution, you see IROCs. Now, I mean, what's next? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but you know, the thing is, I mean, and I've said this before, a lot of these kids, they're into cars, but they can't afford the car that they want. You know, they can't afford that Camaro, that Chevelle and all that. So they're going to buy the Hondas. They're going to get the Beamers. They're going to get all that because now it's what's cheap. You know, it's what they can afford. But my thing has always been the problem that I have with a lot of these local car shows. The tuners will come in and they run them off. And I've seen that more than once. It doesn't matter if it's a good looking car. They run them off. And I think that's the biggest mistake that as car guys we could do. Because you're killing, you're turning the next generation against you. That's what, you know what I mean?
I see it. You know, everyone that comes up to me, we just had the Piston Power Show here in Cleveland. Yeah. And I had younger people, and I go, here, sit in this. I got a 2012 Copo Camaro. I go, sit in it. They go, really? I go, yeah. I go, you know, but these kids, how do they know what a 2012 Copo Camaro is? I mean, back when I was a kid, I knew what a 69 Copo Camaro was because that came from my dad. So if you look at it, it comes from either your grandfather, your dad.
Somebody.
You're born into a car family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one is that one?
That's my latest one. That's that car came from Prout Chevrolet in Elyria, Ohio, and it went to Arizona, California, to Erie, and I got it back. I knew about this car probably 30 years ago, and it came back to Ohio. And I am restoring it exactly the way it left Prout Chevrolet. I have found a number of other Prout Copo Camaros that were all built during the same period. If you know Copo Camaros, they were ordered typically in 10 packs. So the body sequence number, they all are about the same in those 10 packs. So you can very easily tell if the car came from that area or not. And this car will be shown for the first time at the Muscle Car Nationals in November in Rosemont, Illinois.
Damn. So, okay, tell because we do have young viewers. Tell them what Copo means so they know.
Copo stands for Central Office Production Order. And what that means. What that means is that General Motors had a stipulation back in the day that you couldn't have a 427 or a bigger cubic inch motor in a car like a Camaro. So you could have it in a Chevelle, you could have it in an Impala, and you couldn't go above the Corvette. So what they did is they went through the central office production order system, which was used for police cars and different things. So you could kind of school buses, stuff like that, where you could kind of get things through. Well, some people like Don Yanko decided and figured out that they could sneak some cars through. And basically what my car is it's a Yanko without the stripes being on it. Don Yanko was smart enough to have GM build these cars with the cowl induction hood, the bigger 13/16 sway bar, the 15 by 7 inch wheels, and he was put his decals on them. But then when the other dealerships found out about it, they also had to be able to buy them. So they came through that. My good friend Jim Matson, who was really a integral part of the Copo program, has shared some amazing stories of cars that snipped through.
Man, that's cool. Those stories to me are just so awesome.
Well, that's what it's all about. When I've gotten together with some of these gentlemen over the years, and you're at the Muscle Car Nationals or you're at Barrett, and you get some time to go out to dinner and you're sitting there feeding your fat faces, having a little bit of booze. It's amazing the stories that come out and how amazing. I mean, those stories, you can't reproduce them, and they're truthful.
Yeah.
That's your new Copo, I want to back up for a second. Kevin asked what day we're going to be at Carlisle. We're going to be there Thursday.
I'm going to leave my house at 5 a.m., so I'll buy you guys the big sausages when I get there.
The sausage.
The sausage.
The Amish one with the peppers and onions.
Oh, yeah. They've been in that can for the last year, fermenting.
There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
That's why they got 10 outhouses there.
Yeah, and a line.
They clean them good.
Yeah, get there early. Thursday shouldn't be bad. Hopefully we got good weather.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. How far is it for you to get there, Jeff? What are you, a couple hours?
It's an interesting story. I've made it there quicker, but the Highway Patrol in Pennsylvania didn't care for me at 155. So, yeah, that's a whole nother story, though. Try calling your dad, and your dad calls you and says, "How far are you away from Corvette to Carlisle?" I go, "It all depends on when the officer is going to let me out of this."
You got to use the Waze app. It tells you where the cops are nowadays.
This was before the Waze app.
Oh, I got you. I got you
this
now.
Was called a Nissan GTR and a K-Tech Corvette going like this and went around the cop.
Yeah.
I have the video, too.
Should have gave it to us. We could have played it and checked it out.
Oh, we can play that. It's not good. Thank God he was 2 days away from retirement.
God.
I bought drinks for everybody that night.
Yeah. He could have put you in jail for a little bit for that one, I'm sure.
All he said to me is he goes, "If I hear anything more about a red Nissan in a blue Corvette doing anything over the speed limit, you're going to jail and you're getting reckless operations." I said, "You're the boss."
The state troopers don't play around.
No.
Well, thank God
on the PA Turnpike?
Yeah, it was on the Turnpike.
Yeah.
And I saw him in the beginning. There was 4 or 5 of us. And I told my buddy, I go, "Don't you know what that's in front of us? Slow down." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And then my dumbass goes around him racing another guy. We went plaid.
Dude, that's like Papa Cook's, right? He had a God, I just lost the name. It was the one that Ford put their engine in, the speedy one. It was the like European styled one. Anyway, it was one of those cars. And he was on, I think he said it was the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and he made it from one end to the other. When he got to the end toll booth, the guy was like, "Pull over and you have to sit for at least a half an hour." And he wouldn't take his money. And then he had to go back through the toll. He went through the toll booth because the time was too fast. He's like, "You're going to pull over, you're going to wait."
Yeah, I heard they do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I can't remember the fucking car now that he had. The Ring
Jeff,
Brothers did one recently.
Let's back up and start from the beginning with Ken. Talk about who Ken was, and let's talk about this car, the car that you found that everybody was talking about.
It's actually kind of a funny story. We bring up Carlisle because I was at Carlisle. I had a 63 Corvette split window that I was selling there at Corvettes of Carlisle, and a buddy of mine, Harry, calls me up. I think, Lou, you know Harry. Harry Weiss calls me up, and he
Harry
goes,
was the one who got me in touch with you.
Yeah. So he calls me and he goes, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm at Carlisle, Corvettes of Carlisle. Why? He goes, you got to come home. I said, I'm not coming home. I'm selling this Corvette. I go, I'll be home on Monday. He goes, well, you sure you don't want to come home? I go, I'm sure. I go, Monday I'll be home. I'll come out. We'll go look at this car. He goes, there's a Z28 in this barn. I said, all right, Harry, I'll be there. We come home Monday. We go to this town by Youngstown, and he opens this garage. And I don't know if you have the picture there or not, but it was just this.
That one.
Well, that's when we took it out of the garage.
Yeah, drug it out.
Yeah, when we were in the garage, we actually just saw a bunch of beer cans and this here. Actually, I got a picture of it. If you could see it. That's what we saw. So that's what I saw in the garage when we walked in.
That's a mess.
That's a mess. So Harry's telling me how awesome this is, and I said, okay. So the first thing I do is I beeline right for the trim tag on the firewall, and I see X77. I go, cool, it's a Z28. I go, that's great. And then I started looking. I had a roll cage, and I mean, it was a solid car, and you could see the roll cage. You could see, everything that got cut out of it. And the guy that Ken gave the car to was his mechanic, as I found out. And he's a little guy, and he goes, well, hold on a minute. Let me go in the house. He comes back from the house, and he brings all these documents in this like brown book. Had the original buyer's order. It had the original protective plate. It had the Coney shocks. It had the
way.
There's the original order form from when Ken ordered the car.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So Ken was in Vietnam, and Ken was over in Vietnam, and he's reading about this Trans Am series that happens. Now, Ken grew up in Newton Falls, Warren area of Ohio, and he worked at GM, but yet he was out in Vietnam, and he came back home, and he decided that he wanted to go fast, kind of like Ricky Bobby, but he wanted to do it in a way that was safe. In the Air Force, he said this when we were in Chicago at the Muscle Car Nationals. He goes, the military always said safety, safety, safety.
Yeah.
So what did he do? He went to Martin Chevrolet, ordered a Fathom Green Z28, green interior, rosewood steering wheel, cow induction hood, and he took it down to North Carolina. Got a ticket going to North Carolina with his military garb in the back. Then took it home and stripped it in his parents' driveway and turned it into a race car. Imagine buying a brand new race car, stripping it, and then taking it and entering in the Trans Am series. I mean, that's like going into NASCAR right now on a Pabst Blue Ribbon budget.
That is crazy. I never knew that.
So if you look at the picture it's on there right now, that's one of the Bud Moore Mustangs. And if you look in the back, that's Ken. And I think this is in Canada, if I'm Mont-Tremblant. I think it was a Mont-Tremblant. He lost the rear wheel, and it was in the pond. And there's a picture I think I sent you. Yeah, there he is.
Right there.
There he is.
Fishing it
out of the pond. Now, this gets even better. Because of Ken being on the budget he couldn't afford tires. So he would go over to Bud Moore's guys on the Mustang team and take their scratched tires from the Mustangs and put them on his car.
Whatever it takes, right?
I mean, the way he made it work, it's just amazing. The suit, his driving suit, he got from Don Yanko.
Really?
I mean, he was just a normal guy back there. Don goes, Don was a little guy, I was a little guy. He goes, it worked out.
Yeah, how cool was that?
I asked where the suit was. I didn't get that one back, but I got one covered in mothballs that smells like 1969.
Jeff, what motor was he running? He keep the 302 in that thing, or what did he do?
He kept the 302 in it. He blew up the 302. He put another 302 in it. He put a JL8 4-wheel disc brakes on the car. You know, the rear heavy-duty rear axle.
That's an uber rare. That's uber rare.
Yeah. He put the most, to be honest with you, the most expensive part, the hardest part it was to find for this car were the the Coney double adjustable shocks.
Yeah.
I got the car, and it took me almost 4 or 5 years to find a set of the Coney double adjustables. They were $5,500.
Holy shit.
For 4.
Wow.
Everybody thought I was nuts.
That looks nice, though.
Dude, that car looks good.
Thank you. This was.
I am not a Camaro guy, but that car looks good.
Well, this picture brings me so much happiness because we built this car to give back to Ken, to make the car as period as correct possible as it could. We took it to the Muscle Car Nationals, and we were the underdogs. Everybody that worked on this car were not professional restoration guys. From my body guy, Eric at Redline, from my painter guy, Dan Colombo at Flatline, to my interior guy, Jason from Jason's Custom Trim. I mean, all these guys came together and we built this car. And the thing that people don't realize is that we had to take the car and build it stock and then take it apart again to build it as a race car. So when the car went to Chicago, it was a special unveiling, had a lot of great friends there, and a lot of people didn't understand it. And I had a gentleman there that is a so-called Camaro expert guy. I'm not going to say his name, but he's out of Columbus, Ohio. And this Camaro expert guy, Superman, decided that, he found a car that came in a garage, and the guy had it for 30-some years, and he made it nice and painted it. We rebuilt the car from nothing. I go, what the hell? And this guy tried to shove it up my ass, and I just laughed out. I go, you basically painted a car and you put some stuff on it. We actually took this car from where you saw it and brought it back. I mean, how do you go from that to bring it back? It's art, And then to see the look on Ken's face and his family. I mean, it took him back. His daughter said, you took back 20 years of my dad's life.
Yeah.
There's no trophy, there's no dollar amount that can make you feel better than that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the whole thing about being a car guy.
Well, and that's, there's certain things that I've found, no matter where you're at, in life, I always focus with my career and everything. Okay, I got that Camaro. I want to do that next Camaro. I want to do that next Corvette. I want to do that. You're driven by something, but when you have a moment where you have a family that didn't know how awesome their dad was, and I brought Ken's whole family out to Chicago to see this car for the first time.
Wow.
And they came out there. He was a little hesitant at first. His daughter just kept pushing him, and they came out, and to see the smile on his face, and if you go to YouTube, you can see the video when they did it and they uncovered it. I mean, he got the Vietnam Award. And the people that were giving the Vietnam Award, they were going to give it to their dad, and they felt so warm by this story. They ended up giving it to Ken.
Wow.
And Ken said, and it was amazing because Ken said to me, he goes, Jeff, we can't fit it in the car on the way home. Can you take it home for us? I said, we can do that, Ken.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is so crazy.
So it's funny because we had a great time. I had some haters at the end because, everybody wanted it to be, if you have a restored 427, 435 vet and it's missing this, you have that group of people, but then you have the true car people, the people that really care that, hey, if you got a great car, you got a great car. I'm happy for you. But I didn't build this car to make money. I didn't build this car to do anything other than to have fun with it and to kind of keep going on with Ken's legacy. Because Ken goes, well, I never did anything. You never did anything. You've raced in the Trans Am series. I just have one of my nuts to do that.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Now, Jeff, the from what I saw somewhere, the title was still in his name when you got it. So the mechanic never transferred anything. He kept it in Ken's name.
Well, that was the funny part because the mechanic got the car, and the way he talks about it, if you see it on, on YouTube or whatever, when we took it out, Ryan Brutt from did the video from Hot Rod and Muscle Car Review, but he talks about he owed money and other things that were. So when Ken was done racing, Ken was done. So that's where the car ended up, and so at the end of it, Ken just kind of walked away, and no one knew where it went, what happened, and then all of a sudden the paperwork came. I got the car, and then all of a sudden I started doing research. And I go, holy cow. Then we start seeing the pictures. And then, there's a certain group of people, John Mello out in California and some other guys, and they all started coming and say, hey, Jeff, we got pictures of this car. We always wondered, where did it go? What happened to it? Because most of these cars, when they were raced, they were done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's the story of the car, and there's so much more. I could spend a whole day telling you guys everything about it, but when the show is done in Chicago, everybody goes, oh, it's going to be another museum piece. Bullshit. Okay. That car is going Wednesday to Nelson's Ledges to race and to be broken in for the first time since 19. Because of COVID, the car was in California getting dialed in to race. It was supposed to go to Laguna Seca last year, and it just didn't work out. So this Wednesday, we are taking it out to Nelson's Ledges in Ohio, and it is going to be broken in for the first time, along with another 69 Camaro that has not been on the road since 1975. So
that's so cool.
A little bit of time to go out there. Not a little bit. We're going to have a lot of time, but we're going to just kind of break the car in and get it ready, because it will be raced by me in Vintage Trans Am, Historical Trans Am Association. It's been accepted. I have my license. I race other Camaros, but this one, I'm looking at it right now. Sorry. This car means the world to me. It's my favorite car.
That's awesome. So now, one of the guys, he wanted to know if Ken ran the cross ram on that car.
No. Ken bought the car in 69. By the time he got the cage and it ready to race, it really didn't start racing until early 71. So by that time, you could not run a cross ram.
Oh, okay.
And the car ran a single carb, and everything that's on this car is dated correctly for the biggest carb you could do at that time.
Got you. Yeah, I didn't know that.
How long did it take you to put that all back together?
I bought it in 15, and we finished it at 1:15 in the morning on the night before the Muscle Car Nationals in 2019, the weekend before Thanksgiving.
It does look good. I'll tell you, it has to be a weird feeling, because when you were saying that you have to put it back together, original, restore it, then you got to cut it apart. I feel that same way when I'm doing the Impala, because it's like, make it nice, and then I got to booger it up and throw it in reverse and start making things look aged and goofed up. So it has to be. I mean, you're putting those fender flares on it and everything else. You got to be thinking to yourself, "Oh dear Lord!"
Well,
all this work.
the thing is that a lot of guys put fiberglass fender flares on the car.
Yeah.
The guy Eric, my very good friend Eric Nielsen that owns Redline, he actually made a English wheel, not bought. Made. I'll have to get pictures if we get together again or take you to a shop. He actually made an English wheel to build the fenders for this car.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
It helps that he's an engineer for Alcoa, but
yeah, that does help a little.
But to sit there and watch this come together, I mean, I've seen Ferraris being built by hand with the wooden jigs. Yep. I mean, that's basically what we had to do, because the fender, people go, oh, it's just the fenders. No, it's not. You have the inner fenders, you have the outer fenders. Yeah. You're changing the whole car because you're dropping the car down. Look at how low that car sits. Look at the exhaust and how it comes out by the rockers. I mean, there is nothing stock about this car other than the hood, the roof, and the trunk and the doors.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it sounds stupid what I'm going to say, but that trying to get that line straight above that rear wheel had to be a pain in the ass.
Well, I got pictures of that. My Danny Colombo from Flatline is a very good friend of mine. He's done probably about 20 cars with me, and he was a perfectionist. And he had a roll of tape, and he's going down the car, back the car. He goes, and he's got this little Italian accent. He goes, "Yeah, that ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right." and it's just, I can hear that voice in my head. He goes, "These sons of bitches, they don't know. They don't know."
That's what I'm saying. You have to have a laser, or you have to stand back and look at that thing a million times because you.
No, he had a
could
few Bud Lights.
distort
He had a few Bud Lights and some Captain Morgans, and he did a good job.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bud Lights aren't what they used to be, but I got you.
He was using a calibrated eyeball. He was using a calibrated eyeball. That's what he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it looked. When I saw the side view. I mean, that's on an angle, but the side view, the thing's perfectly straight. You can't even. I mean, you don't pick up the flare in the back. It looks clean.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is both sides are the same way. Sometimes you get one that's up here and one that's it's dead on. You know, we tried to do the
You ever
best
stand back and say, I did on the original, it wasn't straight and you made it straight? Because like I said, on that latch, I made the thing straight and it was crooked in the real car. Did you ever stand back and go, that's nicer than what it was?
We've had that conversation.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because it looks good. It looks clean. It looks detailed. And I would think when Ken was building it, he was like, "Hey, give me a torch, give me this. I'm going to cut."
Oh, you know he was.
Yeah,
100%.
He was primitive.
You know, when he came to Chicago and he looked at it, he just kind of sit there and stared at it. You know, and one of my objectives to this day is that I want to take him back to Mid-Ohio. Hopefully, it happens here this year. A private day. I want to just see him drive the car around his home track again. He's in good health.
That would be cool.
He's in good health. He knows his limitations. I think that would be the ultimate cherry on top of this whole build. I don't think it could get any better than that.
That would be cool.
He's got to be like 75 at this point, does he not?
Yeah, he's in his 70s.
Yeah.
He's in his 70s. We talk probably once a month. I tell him what's going on. I said, I fired it up. I pissed off the neighborhood. And you know.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like the sound of a 302 with, stall headers. It was kind of cool. Even the headers, when we did the headers, I called up Stall, which is now a different company, but the same thing. They actually broke out the jigs that they use for the Penske cars to build the headers for that car.
Wow.
I got pictures of that too. I mean, we really tried to get every detail of the car perfect.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Jeff, let's talk about some of the other stuff you built. You sent over some pictures of other stuff that you put together. Ken, let's go through his photos. There you go. That's another 69, is it not?
Yeah, this one's up next. This is going back to like you guys talking about being a kid. This was my dream car. I wanted a 69 Z28 Hugger Orange, white houndstooth interior with a fiberglass cross ram hood with a cross ram. And guess what? That's what's getting built here next. So we're finishing up the Copo. That's going to Chicago in November. And as soon as that car is done, we're going to rip this one apart, starting probably in the next month or so.
Cool.
Okay.
Vet.
This is a cool piece. This is a one-owner 66 Corvette, 327, 350 horse garage find.
Damn.
This gentleman bought this car brand new in 66. If you look at that driver's fender, you can see a little scratch on there.
Yeah.
That's where the fridge hit it. And the son told me about it after his dad died. And he goes, we never rode in this car. We never did anything in this car. He goes, it just sat in the garage. And you can see the plates on the car from 74.
Wow.
When I opened, you can see all our fingerprints when we pushed it out of the garage. When we opened the doors, I said, this car had a hardtop. He goes, yeah. And he started to laugh. I go, what's so funny? He goes, well, my brother needed somewhere to sleep. I go, your brother slept in a hardtop? They go, no, we had to sell that to get him a crib. How can you make this up,
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Tell me you got a hard top for the car.
Not yet, because the thing I love about it is that it's all original. The interior, everything about that car is original.
Wow.
I cleaned it up, and if you see in this picture that mark from where the fridge headed,
it's
on the fender. Everybody goes, why don't you paint it? I go, I like telling the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it.
No, leave it, man. That's cool.
You know,
I wouldn't get the hard top. I'd run it. I'd never put the roof up. I'd leave it like that.
I have a hard top on my 67, and it sits in the back. It's a pain in the ass to put on. It's a pain in the ass to come off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Are those reproduction knockoffs or the real deal? What do you got?
Those are the reproduction, but they are the real knockoffs, but they have the pins. I don't know if you've ever experienced or heard about the bad things that happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I was asking. I mean, they look good.
I can't
tell. You can't tell here.
I have access to a set for the car that I may purchase, but to be honest with you, I drive this in my 67 Corvette pretty much all summer long, and I'll take them anywhere. They're meant to be driven and enjoyed. These are not cars that are museum pieces, but I enjoy them. My family enjoys them, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
What did you have to do to that to get it running? Was it close? You had to take it all apart? What'd you do? Rebuild the motor?
Well, it was interesting because I thought the plugs were out of the motor, and it was sitting there. It had huge headers on it. The guy road raced it because I got all of his old paperwork from like Corvette Cleveland in the 70s. I took the motor out. I tried to put, what do you call it? Modern mystery oil in it to loosen it up.
Yeah.
I tried to push it. We ended up getting it out. Stock bore. We honed it out. We put the pistons, rods, and we put it back in, and we started it back up. Carb rebuild, put exhaust manifolds back on it, and made it just a nice street car.
That's cool.
The first picture, it had side pipes on it?
It had, well, you can't see it, but it had big JB headers on it, and there was a big sticker underneath the hood. So I put the side pipes back on it because that's what it originally had.
Yeah. It
was
how
a
much
327.
was that? Those side pipes,
what's that?
They're not cheap, those side pipes. What'd that cost you?
I bought them used. I didn't want new, so I paid $1,500 for them.
Still, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. They look good.
I wanted it to look exactly the way it was. Again, a survivor is a survivor.
Right.
A restored car is a restored car. Enjoy the car if it's a survivor. You know, that's the thing I love about these cars. You can go and drive them. No one knows if that Nick came yesterday or in 1967.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's pretty cool. The green Camaro.
This guy came up to a car show at the end of my street. When he pulled in with this car, he had it looks like he went through the J.C. Whitney catalog or Summit, and he put on the ugliest wheels I've ever seen. He put split bumpers on it. He had the ugliest gauges in it. He just got it out of a long-term storage where it sat for, I guess, 40 years, whatever it was. I bugged him until he bought it, until I could buy it from him, and I put it back 100% stock. The car's got 25,000 miles on it. Little did I know that a good friend of mine who grew up in the neighborhood knew the original owner of this car, and they used to cruise together at the places in the 70s. This car used to sit next to a 1969 ZL1 Camaro that my buddy Donnie Martins owns that used to go to the same hamburger shop and street race in the same neighborhoods.
Damn. That's crazy that you find the information on all these cars.
That's the history. That's the part I love.
Yeah. I see why. I mean, it's cool. What's the deal with this one?
This car means more to me probably than almost all my cars. I started my career working at Corsa Exhaust after college, and I was really excited because as a car guy, to get that kind of job right out of college was, I mean, it was amazing. And Jim Browning and, you know, the original owners, they confided in me, and a lot of people that worked there worked for Mr. Gasket back in the day. So I was in the mecca of car people, true car people. Mm-hmm. And we had at that time CTSV Cadillac prototypes that I would drive home. We had Vipers. We had Corvettes that came in. I mean, we went to Carlisle. We went to the Corvette Museum. I dealt with every Corvette manufacturer everywhere. So as life went on, I got to know people at GM, and I knew people at Barrett-Jackson. And my dad and I were at Barrett-Jackson in 2012 when the Copo just left SEMA, and it went to Barrett-Jackson, and Dr. Jamie Myers was there. And Jamie's sitting there, and we're talking. He goes, Jeff, you need one of these for your collection. I go, I'm not a drag racer. What the hell am I going to do with that thing? And he goes, no, you need one of these things. 7,000 people are trying to get one of these things. And I said, well, I appreciate that, Jamie. Goes, no, here, fill one of these out. I go, Dad, fill that out. Just fill it out. And it wasn't to get one for free. It was the opportunity to buy one.
List. Yeah.
Yeah, to get on the list.
Yeah.
So April comes along and my dad calls me and he goes, hey, I go, what's up? He goes, I got a call from Dr. Jamie Myers. I go, what the hell's he calling you for? He goes, I don't know. He goes, what does he want? I go, I don't know. I go, did you call him back? He goes, well, not yet. I go, well, call him back. Jamie calls and goes, is this Ron Makovich? He goes, yeah. He goes, you won the opportunity to buy a 2012 Copo Camaro. And your options are the following. You have a 4-liter Whipple, 327 car. You can have white or black and pick the decals you want. Oh, and you've got 24 hours to make the decision.
Click.
My dad calls me, goes, well, here's what happened, what I just said. And he goes, what do you think? I go, buy it.
Yeah.
So he ended up getting it. And he goes, I'm not a drag racer. I don't want it. And at that time, Meekum and Barrett, those cars were going nuts because no one knew if they were going to build them the year after. So he ended up selling it. And the car went through 2 other people. And I made a deal to get the car back after we sold it to the first guy. And he didn't like the fact the car went down in value. And last summer, I got the car back because the guy that ended up with it, I knew. And after I found out he got it, I said, are you going to screw me over like the other guy? Or are you going to be a man? And his hand was shaking a little bit like this. And then we ended up getting it last year back. And I said, this car will never leave my possession as long as I'm still on this earth.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's cool. I'd rather have that car than anything.
Uh-oh, the bitchin' Camaro, the 3rd gen.
Like you're saying, those things are going up in value, especially
they are.
IROCs, T-tops. That is the shit.
I had probably about 40 or 50 of these things in my life. And you know what IROC stands for, right?
Italian retard out cruising.
There you go.
Now I'm offended. Now I'm fucking offended.
I'm trying to find a steering wheel for one of those.
There I am. That's my IROC. Go ahead. Kind of like breaking my balls.
There's so many of those cars that were out there. And I remember driving, they were just shit cars. And, you go to Meekum or you watch Barrett now, and they're $50,000, $75,000. I'm like, what are these guys doing? I go, I bought this car. I always wanted a yellow IROC. It's an 85. It's the first year. It's a 5-speed T-top. And I bought it out of California probably back in 2000, 2001. And, I got people call me probably once a month that know I have it. You want to sell it? You want to sell it? You want to sell it? I go, no. I go, it's too ugly to sell. I love it. Why get rid of it?
It's a 305 or 350 back in this year.
No, 85. The only way you could get 5-speed was a 305 with the L69 motor, 190 horsepower. You had to put a little water underneath the tires to get them to roll.
I drove an 80. I drove an 82 in high school.
Ooh, crossfire.
Yeah, beat the shit. Yeah. It didn't even have a posi in it. One wheel would spin, and I beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, the louvers used to open up on the hood and let water in.
Yeah, fiberglass hood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun, though. Handled like a go-kart.
Oh, yeah. This is a cool piece. This is a 91 1LE Camaro. This was actually ordered by an older gentleman here, and I found it. A buddy of mine does garage doors. He was doing the old man's garage door, and the guy goes, hey, I got that Camaro in the garage. My buddy goes, what is it? He goes, well, it's a Z28. He goes, oh, I know that. He goes, it's a 1LE. And my buddy goes, a real one? He goes, yeah. He goes, hold on a minute. Calls me. And I was there, I think, in 45 minutes. And I had it bought in an hour after that to bring it home. They made 189 of these, and they were used primarily for SCCA events.
Really?
Yeah, 5-speed, radio delete, air conditioning delete, Corvette front disc brakes, baffled gas tank, just a real sleeper.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm not a Camaro guy, so I don't know much about
that. 96? No.
That's the last year of the ZR1 Corvette. That's 1995. The color was Admiral Blue. They made 12 of them. And for my 40th birthday, we were going to Barrett Jackson in Vegas, and this car came up on the list. It was a car on my want list sometime in my life, and I saw it, and I go to my wife, I go, we're going there to buy this car. And I went there to buy it. We were about about $5,000 away over where I wanted to be. And I just had this little thing on my shoulder that if I don't buy this car, my buddies are going to make fun of me for the rest of my life. So I went that extra. I didn't even know if I won the car, but then when I got it, it was game on. So it came out of Canada, and another car that people have called me on, you want to sell it, you want to sell it. It's not for sale. I drive it. I enjoy it, just like all the other cars.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool.
That's awesome. That's freaking cool as shit, man.
Jeff, I got a question. Since you're a Camaro guy, you know your shit. I got to tell you, when I was a young kid in the 70s, it's like 76, 77. My brother had a 69 Camaro, the gold color, that the one we showed earlier with the black stripes, hardtop, 302. And I swear, back then, it was SSRS Z28 options. All three. You ever see one with all three options?
Now, what he had, if it was gold with black stripes and it had a Rally Sport, then it was a Rally Sport Z28. You could not get a Z28 with the SS package, but you could get the Z28 with the Rally Sport hideaway headlights.
Yeah, he did have the hideaway headlights. He
did
did,
not
of course,
know
of
that.
course, the 302 smoked, so he pulled it out and put a 350 and threw the 302 out.
I'll put it to you this way. There's a lot more 302s out there right now than were ever produced. Just like there's a lot more 67, 427, 435 vets that were produced, that were ever produced, that are out there now.
Yeah. Well, he looks back, kicks himself in the ass. But it was a cool car. I mean, it was different. It was only 10 years old, but it was.
I got a Camaro story. You'll appreciate this, Jeff. So there was this guy down the street from me, Tommy Rhodes. He had a yellow with black stripes 69 Z28. And our block formed a T. So he lived down at the long end of the T. So across the street from us at the T was the Pryors. Him and Wally Pryor pulled the 302 out of the Camaro because Tommy blew it up. Put a 350 in. So now they got this short block, no pan on it, no heads. And they're thinking, what are we going to do with it? They pop the manhole cover and chuck it down the sewer. So
that's so ghetto. What year is this?
Fast forward. I go. My aunt died. I don't know, like maybe 6-7 years ago. I'm not sure when. I went down there. I went to New York, and it was raining, and I think it was for a funeral, but it was pouring, and the end of the street was just, the water was back. It was just a mess. It was over the sidewalks in the Pryor's old yard. I mean, it was a mess. So the town comes in, and they got like this scoop that can go in the manhole and pick up all the trash. I'm standing there watching them clean it up because I know it's in there. And out comes this damn block.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
They got it by the harmonic balance, and they pull it out, and the guys are like, they're scratching their heads.
Somebody flushed it down the toilet. You can tell them, I'll take that. Here, give me that. Put it in my truck. Put it in my truck. Is that what you did, Lou?
Huh?
Did you get the motor?
No. If Tommy Rhodes, dude, I'm telling you right now, if Tommy Rhodes blew it up, that bitch was hurt.
Oh yeah, it holds it.
Tommy was merciless on that car, man, dude.
Well, those cars didn't make power until 7,000 to 9,000 RPMs. That's why they all popped.
And trust me, he was there all the time. And I think it was a stick car. I don't remember, but I think it was a stick.
All the 302s were sticks.
Then it was a stick. Yeah. It was a beautiful car. And that was, I don't know, 73 maybe. It was a long time. Yeah. But it was crazy. Tommy Rhodes. God.
Jeff, we got to introduce you to Ben Tucker when we're at SEMA.
He probably knows Ben.
You know Ben? CEO of Camaro. He's the CEO of Camaro Central.
Probably met him. I mean,
See, I told you.
Handsome guy, tall. He's got full head of hair. No.
You know what? We'll see him. We'll see him. I'm sure I've met him, or he's somewhere out there.
Yeah, you two guys should know each other. He's a good dude. He's the one that invited us out together and put it together and go to Armo and got us passes and all that shit. Because Lou left me high and dry. Ben had to make calls, get me in, and get a golf cart. Anyhow,
I didn't know I was going till Ben told me. What are you talking about? Ben called me up and said, "You're coming, right?" And I'm like, "I wasn't planning on it." He goes, "Why?" I said, "I need gas money." "We'll take care of it. You need to be here." Okay.
Yeah. Guys tell me, Kevin's saying drink a Bud Light. I'm good. I'm good. I didn't even drink that beforehand. Tonight I'm drinking the garage oil.
You drink garage oil?
Yeah.
So what are you guys looking for at Carlisle? What are you going? Everybody's got to have one thing that you're looking for. That you're going out there for. I have 2 items, so I'm anxious to hear what you guys are looking at.
I have a complete list. One of them is I was looking online for like we're talking at the intro, the center vent for the Impala, but of course they're $500 and some. But what I think I can do is take a 72 GMC, same type of vent, French it in, same everything for like $65. So I want to be able to see it in my hand. I've seen it online. I haven't seen anybody do it, but that's one of the things. There's odds and ends that I need for the Impala. I just copped a track player, new old stock RCA that never installed, never used, no nothing. So I got that online. It was on my list. I scratched it off. There's things just, door locks I still need. There's just odds and end parts that I want to be able to see. I also need Krager's for the thing. So I don't know if there's a setup there with a 5-inch backspace.
That land was built on Krager's over there. There's more Krager's there than you know.
It should be, right? Hopefully I get lucky.
There than at Summit.
Yeah, hopefully I get lucky. Because I'm thinking buying new, but the car has to look aged. So something that's in good shape that'll fit, I think will work. And I need the 5/8 white wall. Got to talk to Coker. See if I can get something that fits. It lines up with a, with the picture.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Well, for the Copo, I got to find. This is an easy year. I got to find a jack, the iron for the jack, and whatever other '69 Camaro parts that may come from a school bus, pickup truck, or a station wagon that someone may have been living in for a few years. Looking for the deals.
Yeah. I just like walking around. I need the toggle switches, like I was saying, the tall, that they're obsolete, but I'm sure somebody has a bunch of them there.
Yeah.
Just things that are oddball shit. I started writing stuff down about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if it's not there, it's nowhere. I got to ask you a question. This is off the topic, but it's kind of fun there. Have you ever had the chili in the middle of Carlisle there, in the place that's that real low roof kind of place? You've had it there?
Never had it there.
By the grandstands? What are you talking about?
No. It's like towards the highway. It's that real low slung building.
Yeah. It looks. Yeah.
It looks like it's almost falling down.
Yeah, I have not had their chili. What are you talking about? Is it good?
Well, it's going to leave a lasting impression. I mean,
so if you're not regular, it'll make you regular. Is that what you're saying? It'll clean you out.
Coffee has nothing on this.
How long's that ride home?
You're not going to make it home. You'll be lucky to get to the speedway at the end of the street before the highway.
Yeah, I'll stay away from that.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what though, it was an experience last year.
Yeah, Carlisle's a lot of walking, a lot of fun. So hopefully we got weather like it was today, sunny, 70 something. We'd be in good shape. Hopefully it's not a swamp because it's hit and miss.
We got my good buddies who's restoring my Copo Camaro, Brian. He goes, and he's got an accent. He's from Indiana. He goes, Jeff, I'm bringing out the Winnebago. He goes, hopefully it ain't going to sink into the ground. And are you bringing the Maker's Mark or I'm bringing the Maker's Mark? I said, he goes, we'll just stay out there and we'll just have a good time. I said, I'm here.
There you go.
Yeah. That
That is a good time for that. especially you get a good parking spot, not far
yeah.
off. I think out of it's gate 3 or something. You can park that thing.
Yeah, he's at gate 3, and then there's the other Italian. We always get a bunch of guys together. Did you ever eat at the Italian place in the middle of the highway going through town?
No, I went to a diner years ago.
It was I can't remember the name of it, but it's an Italian restaurant, and it's right by the Porsche dealership.
Yep, I have.
Because you know what I'm talking about, and it's BYOB. And my buddy, the hillbilly he is, brings a cooler in because they said they didn't have any beer, and he's over there drinking beer out of his cooler, and the waitress thought it was normal. I said, wine's one thing, maybe a few beers or something. Not the cooler, Billy.
I like going to the Middlesex Diner and having their open-faced roast beef sandwich.
Been there.
That sandwich is the bomb. Yep. I like going there. I go there at least once while I'm there.
I feel like I'm eating with the Golden Girls when I go in there. Them booths have.
Oh yeah, you are. You are. But who cares? The food. That sandwich is good.
I don't ask where they get the meat from.
Those are questions that are just better left unsaid. You know what I mean? You just don't even bother.
Bruce got a scooter. Bruce is set up with a scooter.
God.
All right, guys, we're over on time. I don't know if there's anything else on the list that we didn't talk about. I think,
don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Jeff,
no
appreciate
problem.
you hanging out.
It's all we're trying to get all this history in one location. That's what we're really honestly trying to do. When Harry called me up and said you need to talk to him, I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, he's a Camaro guy. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We have to push Mark Cole. You got to call or text Mark Cole and put him back on the list for September.
Oh my God, you're fucking killing me, John.
Okay, don't do it. Forget I said it.
No, we got to do it.
Yeah.
Freaking killing me.
Next week we got Finnegan. The following week, the 26th, we got Bubba. If people remember LS Bubba out of Arkansas.
LT Bubba.
LT. He has done the LT and the LT4. With Aaron from Guatney Performance. He's going to be on the show. They're going to talk.
Oh, yeah. That was the guy that he was talking. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, there we go. Ken's got the list up. Nick and Bobby Bueller coming on to talk about the engine and the fluids for Sticky Green.
Yep.
Hopefully, Bobby's got that thing done and back to me by the 10th. Richard Rawlings, May 17th. He's coming back. He was on, I don't know, how long ago was it, Lou?
He was on like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, he was a good interview because we talked to him about being a dick. So
yeah.
I'm going to ask him, does anybody call you dick? See what he says. May 24th, we got Joe Zolper. He's going to come on and talk about the Builders Brawl because it's the following weekend, I think, for the Builders Brawl.
Yeah, that sounds right.
May 31st, the one and only Chip Foose will be on the show. And I think we're at the way that it looks here, we're going to finalize the first part of this year, June 7th, Bill Goldberg.
Yeah. You shaving your head for Bill?
Yeah, I may do that. I may do that. So I told you. So me and him go down there and kick his ass. Nobody knows who's winning. I can't wait to fuck with Bill. I can't. I don't know what kind of sense of humor. He's your buddy. I don't know what kind of sense of humor he has, but I'm pretty sure he's fucked.
Dude, Bill's funny. He really is because he can turn that wrestling thing on and off like.
I've seen his face. I've seen him.
Fantastic.
I told you. I've seen him in person a few times at Barrett Jackson and Seaman shit. He puts that on when he's walking around because he don't want anybody fucking with him. Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Yeah,
he is a big dude. And I ran into Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake in Montreal in a strip club. And I got to tell you, they must have been wrestling in Montreal, and they kicked the shit out of whoever the French guy was or wherever it was. We came down. It was the second floor. We came down the stairs, hit the street. There must have been 10 little French guys looking to kick Brutus's ass. Hey, I'm walking right behind him. He grabbed this one guy by his head. He put on his face. It went from what to that I'm kicking the shit out of you. Grabbed the guy by his head and just screwed him into the cement. Just like pushed him down on the ground. And the guy's legs all buckled, fell down. And I was like, I'm like, that's a strong dude to be able to corkscrew somebody into the cement. But they were so pissed off at him, like, we're getting revenge. I'm like, you weigh like 130 pounds. He can throw you across the street.
That's because the guy they beat up was French. They always lose.
Either way, they were into it. They were big fans, but they saw Brutus as the bad guy. But can you imagine you're walking out of a club and you got to deal with that nonsense?
Well, dude,
You know,
I met Roddy Piper years ago. I forgot where it was. I met him, but we got to talk because I was wearing a Hot Rod shirt. Remember that shirt he had that said Hot Rod?
Yeah, yeah.
I bought one, so I'm wearing it, and I met him, and he looks at me, and he's like,
yeah.
So we started talking, and he had a scar on his arm. Yeah, his arm, and he said he was in Puerto Rico. A guy cut him in the arm and stabbed him because he beat the guy that they were cheering for.
Yeah. It's got to be tough, but I can't wait for the Goldberg. I can't wait for Goldberg to be on because I was watching one of those History Channel or Reels or something. They were talking about the wrestlers, and they said he was one of the few guys that actually hurt you.
Yeah.
So, and they said by the time he made it to the top pretty quick compared to others, and they said he didn't have the same ring experience as the others, and he would actually hurt you like it was on. You know, where others would know how to dance around and fake it. He was like, "Nah, I'm fucking you up." so I can't wait to hear his side of what was that like, Bill, and what do you still do that?
Yeah,
they said him and Andre the Giant would actually beat your ass and hurt you because they were so strong.
Oh yeah,
so,
that doesn't surprise. Bill's a big dude, man. He's a big dude, and he knows how to use the power he has. That's the thing. He knows how to use it.
I'm going to talk to him about his garage. He just built a badass garage on his property in Texas. It's pretty fucking nice.
We need to go crash his place. That's what we need to do.
Yeah. Go down there and throw him a beating. Tell him, I'm going to throw you a beating.
We're going to fuck around. He's going to have a ring in his garage. He's going to tell us to get in.
I think on the second floor is the gym. I think he's got a gym on the second floor.
No, we need a ring. So I can go in the ring and go,
I'll film it. You got to put a rubber band in your beard, Lou.
Oh yeah. Captain Lou Albano. Get some crazy glue into my cheekbone.
There you go. Why not? If I throw a flashback. All right, guys, we're way over.
All right, we got to get out of here.
Sounds
Jeff,
good.
thanks a lot for coming. Appreciate it. All right.
Look forward to seeing you guys at Carlisle.
Talk to you there.
Will. All right.
Oh man, I'm
Dude, talk about knowledge.
Yeah.
On the bitchin' Camaros. That is so insane.
Yeah, he knew exactly the car I was talking about. He's probably right. RSC28 instead of RSSS.
Dude, what do you mean probably? You know he's right.
The gold. It's the same exact. That's what it threw
Camaro
me
knowledge
back.
than me and you. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was whipping it out there. He was doing what he was doing.
Jeez, that's insane.
Yeah, him and Ben would get along.
Oh God, yes. They probably. I bet you they've talked on the phone. You know what I mean? Getting parts and stuff. You can't be in the Camaro world and not know the other Camaro guys.
Yeah, they need to know each other.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah. So, all right, Lou. Well, money's on the dresser. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right, later. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. We got Finnegan next week. We'll beat him up a little bit. He'll enjoy it because he said this was the best, most professional podcast he's ever been on. Boy, we got him snowballed. Until then, keep it between the lanes. Later.